The Nintendo NES is one of the most popular consoles, and I'm going to give you some games to look for if you're out at a yard sale or flea market. Not just like these, the most popular ones. I'm going to show you more hard to find ones. Well, this one's kind of a hard to find one, but these ones are fun games. But I'm going to show you, like I said, just the hard to find ones, more expensive ones. I won't be going over games like this, like the World Championship games and graded games that you basically can't find. That's basically impossible. Games that you definitely won't find out in the wild anywhere. So them games won't be on the list or prototypes or anything like that. Just games that are rare, but you can actually find. The first game is Princess Tomato in the Salad Kingdom. I've actually found this game. It's pretty hard to find, but it's not as hard as some of the others on the list. It usually sells for about 175 loose. Definitely not one of my favorite games, but it's not the worst game ever made, but it's definitely not great. Then I'll show a little bit of the footage after each one of these, show a little bit of footage of the game.
No vegetables allowed.
The next game on the list is the Flintstones, The Surprise at Dinosaur Peak. It usually sells for about 1,500 loose. You gotta watch out, there's another Flintstones game for the NES. It's nowhere near as expensive as this game is. Next on the list is Panic Restaurant. It sells for about $900 loose. A lot of these games are more expensive because they came out towards the end of the run of NES or just rare in general. Next is Power Blade 2. It sells for about $800. A lot of people don't know there's a Power Blade 1. It wasn't a very popular game, so that's why this one's worth more. It's just because it was a sequel to a not real popular game, so not many was sold. Next is Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2. It sells for usually about $300. It's a pretty good game. It's just like a lot of the others that came out towards the end of the NES. The first one only sells for probably about $30. It's also a good game, but it's not near as rare as this one is. Next is Mighty Final Fight. It sells for about $300 usually. It's an okay game. It's nothing like the Super Nintendo version. It's a little bit more toned down. Kind of like more of a kid version of Double Dragon in my opinion. But still not too bad of a game. Next is Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter. It sells for usually about $250. It's a pretty good game also. The problem with it, like the others that came out towards the end of the NES, most people bought it for the SNES, so that's why it's more rare. Next is Bonk's Adventure. A lot of people don't know it even came out for the NES. It was more popular on the TurboGrafx system, which that system wasn't that popular anyways, but the TurboGrafx version is a lot better. But the NES version's still good, but it's a very rare game, also worth about $1,000. Zombie Nation. I remember it being advertised a lot, but it didn't end up selling very well, but it's worth about $600. It's a very, very odd game in my opinion, though. next is Little Samson. It's one of the most rare Nintendo games. It usually sells for about $3,000. This one's obviously very hard to find, and watch out for all these games for fake or reproduction copies. And sometimes it's not likely, but even myself, I have found 2 Pokemon games that was reproductions at a yard sale once, but that's the only time it's ever happened, but it can happen. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I will be making similar videos for other consoles. If you will, hit subscribe. Thank you.